Alrighty, so we should have a few things here now. So what I've done is I made sure that my circle bases are the same size. And then I just I stuck these next to each other, like standing up, and just drew on here like about where that height came to, because it didn't really come straight, all the way up. So I've just got those two. And yeah, I did put a lot of tape on here, and it's because you're going to fill these things full of stuff, and they will like fall apart if you don't tape them up nice. Okay, so let's get back to our problem. Hopefully you read through the first part here, talking about what a cone and a pyramid is. So we're going to talk about how much how much things should cost, and how much, what you will, how much you pay, how much you get for what you pay. So, so you have a choice of purchasing a small or large serving of popcorn at the movies. A small popcorn comes in a cone and costs $1.50. And a large popcorn comes in a cylinder right here, and that costs $3.50. Both containers have the same height and have bases with the same circular area. Both, based on their prices, discuss with your team which container of popcorn you think is a better deal. Be prepared to share your reasons with your class. Again, this is something that you should probably try and find somebody to do this with. If you haven't figured out already, these are pretty hard to make on your own. I know, because I just made them on my own. So even if you get in with a friend on like a Google Meet or something, then do that, talk. All right, based on the relationship you found in problem 1033, determine what a fair price would be for the cylinder of popcorn in problem 1032 if the cone of popcorn costs $1.50. At the advertised prices, which popcorn is a better deal? Okay, so what we're going to do is to figure out how much, because this is obviously smaller than this, right? So we're going to figure out how much of this can go in this. So that's why I need some rice, okay? So if you haven't already, grab yourself some rice, or beans, or pasta, or whatever you can find in your house. And we're going to start filling these up with these two up. Okay, so I'll give you a pause for a minute so you can get that and get ready, and then we'll get started. All right, we're back. So what you're going to do now is you're going to very carefully start filling up your cone with whatever material you have. I have rice. You will make a mess. It's just inevitable. It happens every time. You're going to spill. I would try your hardest to be very careful, but know that if you make a mess, you're just gonna have to clean it up, okay? Which is every year when I do this with my classes, there's always a mess of beans everywhere. Okay, so can you see this? I'm going to pour. Now I'm going to see how this is full with the cone. I'm going to pour this very carefully into my cylinder. So I'm just checking to make sure you can see this. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I would like you to make a guess as to how many of these cones can fill up the cylinder. Okay, so you should have a prediction in your head. I already know how many will fill it up because I've done this experiment a million times, but just try and think about how many will fit in there. Okay. That's 2, and I don't know if you can see that. That's how much is filled up. I'm gonna do one more. See what happens. And I will reuse this rice. I know that some people think that's gross, but I'm not touching it. I'm just putting it in these paper cylinders. All right, so last one here. I think this will be the last one. Okay, so remember how I drew that little line as to like where the height was? And I can't really, let's see if I can show you. See that line? Okay, that is about exactly where my rice ended up. Sorry, it's having a hard time focusing. So I would say that it would be right at 3 cones will fill up that cylinder. Now, why do we even care, right? Well, we can figure out, like, we can do some math here and figure out what the price is, you know, and how, you know, if I multiply $1.50, that's the popcorn for this 3 times what will be better. Okay, but this is also going to help us figure out what formulas we would use for the volume for a cone. Okay, so we're going to use our knowledge from last week when we figured out the volume of a cylinder, and we're going to use that now to figure out the volume of a cone. So I'm going to pause this now, clean up a little bit, and then we'll go through the math.